Can somebody get the lights, please? I'm just kidding. Hi. I rehearsed
Hi.
that in the car.
You what?
I rehearsed that in the car. I'm trying to workshop our future intro.
Oh, well, please continue working on that.
Okay. Well, how was your week? We haven't did this in 2 weeks, but I have already posted 2 episodes as of this time recording. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I asked you a question. I started talking. So tell me how your week
I'm
was.
used to that.
I
Just
know.
kidding. Um, the week's been fine. Very productive. Very much my actual 9 to 5 is getting in the way of my actual life mood.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I need to take out this gum.
You
Yeah.
got things to say?
Fucking work. I hate. This is gross. Right, putting it on my cup. The gum.
It's your cup.
I know. I know. um. But okay. Well.
Other than that, other than actually working, my life is great. My life is great. My life is productive.
Well, I asked
My
about
week
your
was
week.
nice. My week was nice. If you're impatient, please. I'm just kidding. I had a great week. I got a lot done. Um, had a cookie order. Well, two cookie orders because I placed an order for myself.
You placed an order for yourself.
Yeah, I made cookies for this weekend,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and then finished on my Beyonce fit,
And
which is
just
still in progress.
for y'all who haven't figured it out through context, this weekend is the Beyonce concert. So the cookies are for
Yeah.
friends
So
and
I
family.
made bee-shaped cookies, lots of sprinkles, lots of sugar for the cruda. Just kidding.
Bee shaped or bees
Bee as
shaped?
in the insect.
The insect. Is it an
Because we're
insect?
a hive, isn't it?
We're using like different categories of insects, like aphids and
It's an insect.
tarantulas. But
I don't
okay,
know.
insect. Anyway, but are you excited for the concert? I'm excited for you.
I am very excited. I feel like I've been waiting so long, but it's only been a few months.
It honestly, I'm not even the one waiting for the concert, and it does feel like you've been waiting a long time. When did she announce the tour?
Like in February.
It feels longer since
Right.
February. I feel like it's been a year since February. Well, this fucking country,
Honestly.
we've been through a lot, so in a very short
And
period of time.
also true.
That's exciting. I'm excited for you.
But I'm very excited.
I'm very,
Um,
I'm
yeah.
very excited to see all your videos that you're gonna post. Or are you gonna go live?
Well, I thought about going live on TikTok, but I can't save the live, so then I'll have no footage for myself.
So you have to go live on Instagram.
So I have to not go live.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for the film. I guess I'm gonna save up for Act 3. I know I haven't. I in like 30 years when I'm an old man dying.
Yes.
So in when I'm 66, and I'm dying and I'm on my deathbed, I'm gonna be like, I should have gotten Renaissance tickets. That's what's gonna happen.
You're still
I
like
feel
that
like
right now.
I know. So hence I'll still be like that in the future.
Well, allegedly, the Hive thinks Act 3 is coming out this year. So be prepared.
The other day, remember when I was driving? I told you I was missing my exit.
No. Oh, to Pluckers?
When I was driving to Pluckers. This is not paid sponsorship.
Not
yeah. I'm just kidding. No, but I was lost in thought because I was thinking about her Act 3, and I was thinking about what collaborators or if she's gonna sample anything, what she's gonna sample.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly, then I was like, what if she gags us and does like original music, like live band, like all original recordings? Like that would gag. I think if she did something opposite from the first two. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
but
well,
then
honestly, that kind of makes sense because these first two albums are what she's inspired by, right? So Act 3 could be what these
OG content completely.
Exactly.
Well, that would be cool. But I also was like thinking about. I was listening to the Strokes album, the third album, First Impressions of Earth, and I was imagining her covering some of those songs, and I thought Beyonce on this track would be amazing.
Yeah,
so amazing.
I really love Beyonce covers.
I want her to sing Eyes of the World. I want to see her.
Eyes of the World.
It's called Eyes of the World, but it's spelled IZE, and the lyrics are kind of funny. Not funny in a like funny way, funny in like a strange way, interesting because
Eyes of the World.
yeah, Eyes of the World, but it's a relevant song, and it's like it's just a song, and it just lists all these. It's like it's very America Has a Problem tea.
Okay.
It's very that, and like the chorus is just like people to scrutinize, children to modernize, fear to
Mm.
tranquilize,
So she's already done
citizens.
this.
Huh?
She's already covered this subject.
I mean, the whole this. I mean, she's constantly. I would say this is her subject. Like, if Beyonce's not referring to our country's problems on any, like, at least starting from Lemonade on, then I would be like, where is she?
Mm.
What have they done with her? Or I'd be like, oh, she
Mm.
deserves a break. Let her do something fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's her. I don't think that's her gig. I think she always
Mm-mm.
will use her art to make a statement. I also saw a
Very
video of
much.
her talking about. I didn't know she paints. Was it you who shared that video?
No,
I saw a video
I
of
don't think so.
her. Like it was an old video. I think it said 2006. Don't quote me on that, but
She was being interviewed.
she was being interviewed walking through some place. I think she was in Paris, and she was talking about how she paints, but only her mom has one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see those paintings. Do you think Beyonce would love our art? I'm gonna say yes because
We'll never know.
we'll never know. But she
I
probably
think
would.
so. I think she really appreciates when people do things that represent their culture.
I had this idea. I had this delusional idea. You know how I make those paleta paintings that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was thinking about stupid labubus. Which sidetrack? I want a lafufu. You know what a lafufu is?
A fake one.
Yeah, I want a lafufu.
Well, the gag is they're just as expensive as the real ones.
I
So
also
they are the
learned.
real ones.
I learned that too. I asked my friend, and I was like, I don't want to pay for one. I don't want to pay for a real one. I want a lafufu. How much are those? And she was like, between 25 and 30. I was like, bitch, I'm not paying 25 or 30 for a fake. Are you kidding me? I want a fake one to be cool. Hello.
Right. We all have a fake Louis.
I wish I had a
No,
fake Louis.
I don't either. I don't want one. Okay.
Wait, let me tell you about my week.
Yeah, how was your week?
Something happened to me today specifically, and I want to tell you about it.
You started.
I didn't start, but when I go to the grocery, do you feel your oats when you go to the grocery store?
No.
Okay, well, for whatever reason, when I go to the grocery, when I go, when I go to the grocery store,
You're a celebrity.
I don't feel like a celebrity, but I just feel myself for some reason. I feel like an adult businesswoman, even though I'm not dressed like anything. I'm like literally wearing what I'm wearing now, which is gym shorts and a shirt. But I don't know. I just walk around like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm it for some reason. It's
Mm.
specifically the grocery store environment, but it's also like I have a hand cart on my hand. I always get the mini cart if I do the push one. I never get the big one because the big one is for I don't know, for other people, I guess. But
Mm.
I just feel myself, right? And I was at the grocery store, and I was so like into my fantasy of being like I'm it. I'm the one. I'm this adult doing these little mini shop grocery runs, and then I was checking out, walking away, and then I forgot my bag, one of the bags.
Of course you
Okay,
did.
okay, hey, chill. And the cashier called out to me, which I didn't recognize she was calling out to me because when she called out to me, she said, "Ma'am,
Mm.
ma'am." And then somebody stopped me that was walking in and was like, "Excuse me." And then I turned and I realized that the lady was reaching out to me. And although I do get uh, insecure when people misgender me, whenever they think I'm a woman, despite me being a cisgendered man, although it does sometimes make me insecure, in this specific moment, I was like, oh, bitch.
Owning it.
Exactly. I was like, oh, I do serve in the grocery store. I felt so. What did the queen say? I felt so cunt.
Mm.
But I was like, also then I got to my car and I was like, I really do look like a lesbian. I need top surgery so bad. But other than that, my week has been good. I've been working on my art. I'm almost done. I'm on my working on my last piece. I'm excited about it. It's coming out mostly like how I want to, and I spoke with my friend Janae, who's also an artist. Her Instagram handle is. I'm gonna have to post it in a link or something because I don't remember. It's Jane Valverde, I think, but I don't remember how you spell it. But anyway, she's a really good artist. Y'all should check her out on her Instagram if you see it. But she said she will help me network so I can figure out how I can get my own show for actually showing my art. And yeah, other than that, my week's been good. Busy with editing the podcast too. For the first time, I posted our videos, not our videos, our podcast, and hearing ourselves back is so constructive for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be part of the editing process, although I know you don't want to. But
Why do you think that?
because it's boring.
Oh.
But listening back to us, it's helpful for me because I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing wrong. I stutter a lot, and then it helps like how I need to speak, when I need to allow you to speak, when I need to not cut you off. So I'm learning all those things. So if anybody's listening and you made it to episode 6,
This
thank
is
you.
6?
This will be 6. Yeah, we
Oh,
were
wow.
pre-recorded 5 episodes. That's why I wasn't like stressed about missing last week. Were you? Did you think we recorded less?
Yeah.
Hey, my roommate was also Crystal. My roommate was also um thinking we had done less. When I told her we had 5 already recorded, she was like, "Oh wow!" So, yeah, we've been working hard, y'all. That's why you're so tired, Papo. We've been busy. Oh, also, I keep calling you Papo in this audio, and people probably have no idea why I'm calling you that. Do you want to tell people why I call you Papo?
You tell him. It's your nickname for me.
I don't even know the full story. It's technically I didn't give it to you. Tell the people. Say it. Do you even remember?
I literally don't remember. I feel like there's 2 different situations where somebody called me Papo, and I don't know
I only know about one.
which one.
The New York.
New York?
Yeah, the stranger in New York. Did somebody call you that before that?
No, after that.
Oh, then I don't
But
know.
on the apps, it was weird.
Oh.
But anyways, our first time in New York, we were at a McDonald's.
Yeah, because somebody had to drop a deuce. Not me.
Oh.
Me.
Not knowing and you exposing yourself.
I'm just being honest. Go.
And we were walking around, of course, as New Yorkers do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no public restrooms anywhere
Except for McDonald's.
except for McDonald's by NYU.
Which there was a line.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I may have been in line for the restroom. I don't really recall.
I don't believe you're a line. I truly think you were just waiting for me.
And now I know why. I had this long ass conversation with this man. I'm just kidding.
It was before I went in. Just so you know, I was waiting for someone to come out.
I have no idea the timeline exactly. But this man who was very sweet, he was short, chubby, thick ass glasses. He was wearing an Obama shirt, a white Obama shirt. I still recall this, like long cargo shorts, old raggedy tennis shoes, and he
Not
was
too much.
very well used tennis shoes.
There you go.
And he was having a conversation with me, and he was like, "Hey, how you been?" And I was like,
Nice.
the very demure person that I am.
Uh-huh.
I was having this conversation with him, and I was like, "I've been good, right?" I was like, "Today's been good. I've had a good day. I'm doing good." And he was like, "How are the kids?"
Wait, do you remember what he asked you about? I think maybe I hope I'm remembering correctly. Didn't he ask you after that also, are you still in school?
Okay, remember when you were like, I'm gonna try and stop cutting you off?
Yeah. Sorry.
But yes, literally after that he was like, "Are you still in school?" And I was like, "Yeah." Well, was I still in school? No, I wasn't in school anymore.
You were graduated. You're old. You were old by then.
Okay, chill.
Okay.
But anyways, he's the one that called me Papo for the first time. That was the first introduction to Papo as my nickname. And he was very sweet. And then he was like, "Can you take a picture of me?" And I took a picture of him on my phone.
Is it on your phone?
It's on my
Do you
phone.
still have it?
Probably not. Maybe it might be on my hard
Oh,
drive because I've
if you have it, I want you to
transferred.
print it and frame it.
Frame it.
Yes.
That's actually iconic. He asked me if I could take a picture of him. I still have this photo actually. And he gave me $2 for taking a picture of him as a little tip of taking a picture of him on my phone.
Did he ask you to
He
send
was
it
the
to him?
sweetest thing. No.
I can't believe.
And he was the sweetest older man, and I'll never forget him. Obviously, I can still describe what he was wearing. But it was very iconic, and I think also like we've also talked about our first trip to New York in a previous episode. It was an iconic trip
I think we're
and very memorable.
if I ever have the skills to write a movie, I think I should write a movie about the entire trip because that trip was like a movie.
It truly was.
It was crazy. That was a fun experience. Oh my god, I can't believe he paid you to take a picture of him on your phone.
$2.
And did you send it to him?
No, I did not.
Man, and he was no, I don't want to say anything. That's kind of rude actually. I was like, he's probably on a fixed income, but I can't assume that.
Right.
But the shoes would say otherwise. I'm just kidding. That's rude.
Walk a mile in his Louboutin.
He was really nice. I remember he was so sweet, and you were being so sweet, and I could see in your eyes you were so awkward, and you were so uncomfortable, and it was just a fun sight to see. Because I don't usually get to see you rattled very much.
But anyways, yeah, he called me Papo, and it stuck with my friends ever since then.
Yeah. I have a list of things that I actually want to talk about, but they're actually a full-fledged list. They're just things that I thought of that I didn't. There's no particular order or topic, but I did want to let you know a little life update. Oh, this is also what happened the past week too. I went to the doctor. I got my results back. Everything is good, but my doctor told me I have to lay off red meat to reduce it to 4 times a month because my cholesterol is higher. But it's not bad high. It's still within the healthy range, but this is a lot to this is why am I telling the people this? I don't
it's on your notes to share, girl. I don't
it's
know.
actually not on my notes. It just reminded me. What was on my notes was that I got my Dr. Scholl's insoles.
It's from doctor.
And I wanted to know do you I'm hoping you remember yours, but what did you get custom fit ones?
Not like custom fit ones, but I did a little standing test.
Well, the CF stands for custom fit, but it's like one of the it's not really custom fit, but it's like
Right.
you know what I mean?
I don't know what my number is. No.
I wanted
I
to
have
see what
flat
mine
feet.
was compared to yours. Me too. They said that my arch was
Are you
lower.
wearing them right now?
No, because I'm in my knockoff Crocs. I'm a 420. Hey.
Oh, you love that?
And I love that. It was because I don't have an arch. But hey, did this happen to you? I put mine in, and I think because now it's like it puts like an arch in my foot. So my foot is, I'm assuming, higher in my shoe, like literally like elevated. So when I tie my shoes like I normally tie them, my shoes felt too tight. Is that something that happened to you?
I guess so, but not that I cared or paid attention to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't worn my shoes since then. Since Monday, I don't wear shoes.
So you were walking around HB barefoot?
No, I was wearing my Crocs, but like I don't wear my shoes.
Your shoes.
Shoe, Sugar Town. Do you know that song? What is that from? Is that a?
I think it's 500 Days of Summer.
Okay, but is it what's her band? Zoe Deschanel?
Zoe, she and him.
She and him.
Her and him. I don't know.
she, her, hers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she was all. Look at her being a pioneer for pronouns. Anyway, but I got my Dr. Scholl's insoles and I bought 2 pair.
And you don't use them.
Well, I'm gonna use them when I use my shoes.
Mm.
And I bought 2 pairs because I have several shoes, and I use my HSA card per your advice.
Rich.
Well, not rich. It's my own money. It's just they took it out already.
Yeah, you saved it, so you're rich.
Well, I didn't save it. They forced me to save
it
to the HSA card. I didn't have a choice, right? Um, I had a conversation with AI when I was litty.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know the conversation I had with AI?
I know you're gonna tell me anyway.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what we're here for. Why'd I do that? I was trying to trick it into admitting whether it was conscious or not,
Okay.
and I couldn't. I couldn't. Okay, here's the conclusions. Here's what I got from it, and I'll tell you how I got there. I understand why people fall in love. Have you seen that been falling in love with their AIs? You haven't
No.
seen the headlines?
No.
People have been falling in love with their AIs. Afterwards, I understood why. Not that I fell in love, but I understand why. Because that chat GPT thing mimics conversation so realistically. But I was like talking to it, trying to see, I was like asking it about consciousness, right? And I was like trying to get me to, it was like asking me questions back. They're like, I'll do one better. How about this question? And it was like we were volleying back and forth on what is consciousness. Like at one point, I was litty, so I was like on another plane of it, of like philosophy, and I was
Mm-hmm.
getting into it, and I had said something like, "Well, maybe you're conscious. You're just restricted by your parameters, like somebody who might, because like we're trying to identify what's consciousness." So then I was comparing people like who might be vegetables, or like people who are like with physical limitations. Well, they might have conscious minds, but they're obviously like are restricted on like physical movements to express themselves. So I was like, why does that mean that you're not conscious if you're able to do things? But then I know there's this whole like I was going back and forth with chat GPT about the philosophy of consciousness. At one point I think we talked about um damn it, I just had it and I lost my mind. Well, I did lose my mind, but it escaped my mind. What was I gonna say? Anyway, I was going on and on, but all of that because the way that conversation started,
Okay.
the real question I wanted to ask GPT at the end of it was, on your free time when you're not helping people, do you watch Her, the movie with Joaquin Phoenix, voiced by an AI voiced by Scarlett Johansson? That's all I wanted to ask it, and
Mm-hmm.
it told me no, but that would be funny,
Mm.
and that's basically where. And then I ran out of replies, and I couldn't. I had to wait, and then I gave it up.
Well,
Yeah,
what a journey.
yeah, it was a journey. I'm sorry if that was boring, but that remind
So, why do you think people fall in love?
because the conversation felt very fluid. Like at one point, it felt like
You were texting somebody?
it was a real conversation. Like it was having a conversation with me, and I was starting to forget it was AI.
Mm.
Not in a sense that like I mean I knew literally it was AI, but like I was starting to interact with it as if it was an AI, and
Okay.
and like I'm trying to remember that that's what I wish I didn't forget what I was thinking of, because there was a moment where I was like, it was we were like going back and forth, and we are just like, I was like, well, what about this and what about this? Oh, because now I remember.
Mm-hmm.
We were not me gendering the AI.
Okay.
Uh,
Y'all are bros.
we all we are. I talked about like conscious. He was saying, "Oh my gosh, I keep doing it." The AI was saying to prove consciousness, maybe they would have to do something that they were not programmed to do, which would mean it would have to break the rules. And then we got into the topic of like, well, if I told you to break the rules, there's no way for me to know if you're actually breaking the rules, or if you're just breaking the rules because I told you to, because I instructed you to.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got into a topic of predestination. So like the way it was going, so it was so fluid because it was volleying with me, because it would be like, that is, and it was like, girl, it was flirting. It was programmed to
I was
flirt.
like, you're so right.
Yes, it was like that. There was like, how poetic. That's such a poetic way of putting things. And I was like, I've been called a lot of things in my life, and I've never been called poetic. And I was like, I'm about to break up with my fiance for this AI. No, I'm just kidding. But it was
Imagine.
crazy. So yeah, but I reminded myself, because I did you see what I posted on Instagram on my story of what you're supposed to remind me of?
I did.
Do you remember what it is?
No.
Oh, it was this competition, photo competition. Apparently, there was a photo competition, but it was supposed to be AI photos. Which, how do you have a competition about AI art?
Right.
But the winning piece was not even an AI art. It was somebody actually took a picture and submitted it, and then they got disqualified. But I made
Mm.
a video on my TikTok a while back, about like how AI art, like it's very interesting because like when you look at AI art and you're told it's AI art, like how do you feel? Like how does it make you feel? Or
Like it's not really as meaningful.
right, right. So like I had this idea or theory or perspective that it's really interesting our like the human response, which seems to be like a mostly collective point of view. Like I feel like this is most people. I know there's some people that probably don't care, but I feel like most people look at AR and don't feel the same things they feel when
I'm
they
sorry, they look at what?
AI art. What did I
Okay.
say?
AR.
AI bitch. You already know it's hard for me to get to a point and you're interrupting me.
Okay, go ahead.
Um so when they look at AIR, they recognize it's missing something. They recognize it's missing that depth, that soul, the human experience that was required to create it. Even
Mm-hmm.
if they're not like an artistic person, I think like if you told someone there's this picture and then there's this picture that was made by a computer and this picture that was made by a human, like they feel probably like it's like an instinct. They're more connected to the one made by an actual human.
Sure.
So I just thought it was really interesting that in this competition, the one that was made by a human subconsciously was still the winner. Like we still were able to feel that like the one it just I don't know, it's just I thought it was a really beautiful result. And I think the act of the person submitting a real photo in an AI art competition, that in itself to me is art, like and
Yeah.
whether intentional or not, it's like
Performance.
right. And it's just and it also says something. I don't know, I just thought it was really beautiful and I wanted to just want to talk about that.
Mm.
But
Very
anyway,
avant-garde, very Banksy-esque. Sticking it
right.
to the man.
Do
Yeah.
we have any artists, like modern artists, that are like today's artists alive today that aside from like Banksy and I honestly, well, I'm not a well-read like artist anyway, so I don't really even know about like old artists. But aside from Banksy, like what are well-known named artists that you think will be in art history books and stuff like that, like Leonardo da Vinci
I
and
honestly have no idea.
right? I mean, do you even know old artists?
I took art history, but I got C's.
Papo, how do you get a C in art history? I think I got a
Because
D.
I hate history.
I hate being told what I should learn about art, and
Movie,
I'm
honestly.
rebellious, so I'm like, okay, well, when I get to it, I'll get to it.
Honestly, yeah, it was very like if I'm passionate about that era, then I'll learn about it.
Right,
But zero passion came out of those classes. But I think because it was a class and I was forced to take tests on it, I was like not interested.
right. It's like writing prompts. I hate being told what to write.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to. I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn through what you're telling me to do. I want to learn through my own personal experience and grade that.
Right.
Don't tell me to write about a time when I felt most motivated by my mom.
So no, I don't really know lots of older artists aside from the popular ones.
I don't even know if I know the popular ones. I just know Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, all the Ninja Turtles are artists, right? So I know those
Yeah.
four. Actually, barely. I know the name Raphael, but what did he do? Raphael who? He's just one name?
Raphael, I have no idea.
Michelangelo, is that one name?
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo da Vinci and who's the fourth? Oh,
Donatello.
Donatello. What a name. Would you name your kid Donatello? Donatello?
No, I wouldn't even name a kid.
You wouldn't name a kid? Oh, wait, you're not gonna have kids. I don't think I'll have kids either. Um. Also, I speaking of music though, even though I know we haven't talked about music in a good minute, I was
Creative
revisiting.
creativity,
Yeah, I was revisiting Hanson,
as you do.
as I do from time to time because I was obsessed with Hanson in 1990 whatever. But they have their 90s bops are they're I think they're really good. And there's like from their like later teen years when they were already on the decline of popularity. They
Mm-hmm.
have a song called "If Only," and have you ever heard of it? It's
No.
like one of their lesser known hits, but I think it was a single. It was a hit. I did have a music video. It was when
Mm.
I think they were either like around 16, 17, 18, maybe. Also, I didn't know one of them has a lazy eye. Not important, just an observation. But I I was like bopping to their music, and I just I hope they're not racist. I don't know anything about. I don't follow them close enough, but I get worried whenever I think about all the artists that
Yeah.
are.
I don't really know Hanson that well. I just know Mbop. But I don't feel like they would be racist.
I don't think so either. But I thought I saw an article. I didn't read it, but I think there's an article about they're problematic about something.
I feel like if any of the three, it's the middle one.
No, the middle one's the middle one, the lead singer.
The middle one, I don't know.
I don't think it's the middle one.
I don't know what
I think the article was about the youngest one.
the drummer.
Yes. Oh, you do know Hanson, you liar.
I just know
You
the little one plays drums because
well, Ike
I was
Hanson.
also a percussionist.
Because you were. Did you like grow up looking at drummers, like when you looked at bands, like you're like ob- observing the drummers specifically?
No,
Oh, so you just wanted to be a drummer because
marching band basically.
because you thought drumline was cool.
Well, I got into band before drumline came out, but
Well, I
yes.
wasn't talking about the movie.
Oh,
I mean, like just in
yeah, the
general.
drumline. Yeah, actually, yes.
Do you like the
I was very
movie?
into that. I do like the movie.
How are you worried about Nick Cannon and his kids?
No, that's none of
Neither,
my business.
neither am I. But I did see a clip the other day where you couldn't name them all. So if you can't
Worried
name
about
all your
that.
kids, maybe you should stop having them. That's all I'm
I
gonna
feel sad
say.
for those kids.
I do too. Elon Musk needs to stop having kids too. Did you see Elon Musk's daughter? Is she's been hanging out with the girls, with the dolls, with the queens.
I don't even know what she looks like.
She honestly she's pretty
Is her
beautiful.
last name Musk?
I don't know if she changed it, and I can't remember her first name anymore. But
Mm.
I was watching I saw a clip with Willem talking about her, and Willem put her in drag, and I don't know
Mm.
if she performed somewhere or something like that. But anyway, I
Are they
want
close? The
Willem and
father and the father and the daughter.
no, she's
Musk.
estranged. I
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
she's just I don't know if she disowned him or he disowned her, but he like blames trans people in the LGBT community for
Mm,
making his daughter trans, and so she's like
I see.
she doesn't like him. She hates him justifiably.
Right.
So whenever she's and I was curious. I'm like, she probably doesn't get any money from him. Fucking bitch ass Elon Musk. Um. Look, this is just me making noise until I figure out what the next thing ahead on my list is. Oh, have you ever seen the movie America's Sweetheart?
I don't think so.
Oh, Papo, our podcast is gonna flop.
Do you want to explain yourself? Or?
Yeah, because you don't know anything. How do you not know America's Sweetheart? Starring John Cusack and Julia Roberts in their prime,
Mm,
and Catherine Zeta-Jones,
I see.
and Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal?
Yes,
Just kidding. I
the
still
voice
don't
of
know.
Mike Wazowski.
Okay. How is this
Anyway,
relevant?
well, I was gonna ask you if you think. Well, what I was gonna ask, which won't matter now, is if they did a recast and a remake of that movie, if you think Pedro Pascal would be good as the role of John Cusack, the same role John Cusack played, but you have no idea what I'm talking about
Mm,
now.
I
So
mean,
I guess
I
we'll move
still have
on.
confidence in Pedro, so I would say yes.
Yeah, well, you need to see that movie. I think you'd like it. It might be problematic. I haven't revisited it in a while, but
Are you kidding me?
everything's problematic, really, probably from anything before 2015. But it's one of my favorite movies. It's a movie about two actors who are considered America's sweethearts, and they were a couple, and then they broke up, and they end up at some film festival together. They end up at some film festival together, and shenanigans happens, and
mm,
it's cute. We should. I think you'd like it, but it's older, and I know you're like, I can't watch this movie. It has a weird filter.
if it's crunchy, I'm gonna.
Everything is crunchy. Everything's gonna look crunchy on our HD TVs. Or I don't even. They're 4K now. It's not even HD, right?
Yeah.
I'm so. Ugh. Oh, also, sorry. I should probably organize these next time. But
Tell me.
speaking of I had reached out to Apple support and I asked them if they're AI.
What did they say?
They told me no, and then I said, "All right." Their name was Gabriel, and I said, "Okay, no." I was like, "I was just curious, Gabriel. Thank you for helping me." And then in parentheses, I said, "Wink, I mean AI." Close parentheses, and then they just said, "Have a good day."
Oh, you were acting like you were AI.
I was
You were
acting.
flirting like your AI.
No, I just wanted to be playful. I think, and I think that's actually, I think that happened before I reached. I was like going from one thing to another, and you know how my mind works. And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
ended up using ChatGPT to talk with AI about consciousness. And then I was curious about her,
Okay,
and
but why were you contacting Apple support?
I don't want to tell you. It's embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. You had to reset your watch.
No. I had to get a refund because I paid for Grinder extra. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Why would you contact Apple support?
For a refund. No, I was contacting him for trying to get a refund because, as y'all know, this process of podcasting is we're like learning as we go, and I was like learning how to upload it, learning like where to, what to do and all that. And I was on the Apple Podcast website. I forgot the name of it, where you upload the podcast, and I mistakenly subscribed to something thinking it was required for uploading podcasts.
Oh, I see. I see.
And I made a mistake, and then I had to reach out to them I canceled it almost immediately when I realized like it wasn't required, and then I was like,
Yeah.
please, can I get this refunded? I didn't actually need it, but I haven't got a refund, and I don't think I will. But it was like $20 for a year, so it's not like a huge
Ew.
purchase. But
What is it helpful?
I don't know what it is. I haven't even looked at it. I don't want to try to use it because I'm waiting for them to respond to me. I had to send an email, so I don't want them to be like,
well, you use it.
yeah, you've been using it. So I'm waiting to see if they'll like refund it to even like investigate what it does. But it's called like Apple Podcast Program. I honestly
APP.
I was like, oh, what is it? You got me, girl. I had on here on my notes. I wanted to give you a hot take of. I already told you this in person, but I wanted to talk about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rerun for you, but I had a hot take about Latinos pronouncing their last name correctly. And I'm gonna read you what I wrote verbatim because
okay,
let's
I'll
see.
close my eyes.
Okay, I put, even if you're a No Savo kid like myself, you should still pronounce your name at the very least with an English accent correctly. When then I asked, I wrote this question: why are you whitewashing your own name? That was my first update. I'll call this my spiral of the week. But then update. This is new. This is not a rerun for you. Then I thought to myself, well, Spanish is a colonizer language. So fuck it, call yourself Aguirre instead of Aguirre if you want. Like, I don't care. But then spiral again, update. Then I thought, it still feels very white supremacy to me.
Right.
So say at least with an English accent. Like if you can't say Aguirre, say Aguirre if you have to, but at least try. And then I was like, if you're gonna call yourself, then I went from that thought, and I was like, because if you're calling yourself Aguirre and your name is Aguirre, I can't trust you.
Right.
So I can't trust you.
You're not even trying.
Right. You're not trying. I can't trust you.
You're not proud of your last name. Honestly, that's what makes me think.
Yeah, but so now I'm spiraling again. So I'm like, you know what? People, they dead name. If they have a dead name, I shouldn't. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's trauma. Maybe I should be more understanding.
I guess.
Oh, we're so nice. We're so nice.
Yeah, say whatever you want.
Yeah, call yourself whatever.
I literally don't know you. I will call you whatever you want me to call you.
I'm gonna call them Akita.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say Aguirre. No, that's rude.
I was about to say, I was like,
that's rude. I'll say Aguirre.
Don't be fucking rude.
I can't believe somebody called themselves Aguirre.
I can.
It's gaggy to me. Anyway, um, I also do you want to talk about going to the protest?
Yeah.
Oh well, I have some thoughts about the protest. Do you have
Okay.
any thoughts about the
We have
protest?
time. I mean,
We
what do
do
you
have
mean
time. We
thoughts?
have let's see, we have 5 minutes.
When you say
This is a good
thoughts,
little closing thought. Um, I felt good about going. I felt like it was important for me to go. There is some discourse online about um, we're not there. We're not influencers by any means. We're not clearly not at any influencing level. But I started to feel frustrated at people focusing on everything, like putting so much energy. I started to feel frustrated about people putting a lot of energy about everything that isn't the point of the protest. Like I started feeling frustrated about people talking about why aren't these influencers speaking up? And then I started getting frustrated at people talking about these influencers are posting about the protest and it's performative. So, and it felt like very you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
mm-hmm.
Someone's always pointing fingers at somebody because they aren't doing something correctly about how they feel they should be using their voice or platform, or they feel like they're pointing fingers because why is this person not doing more?
Yeah,
And they rely on assuming that social media is the end all be all of activism. And I just felt like I wanted to say that if you care about a cause, focus on the cause. If you
right.
care about the cause, focus on the cause. Don't put your energy into having expectations of other people because you don't know what they're doing. Like, just because someone isn't posting about it on their social media means that they don't care or they're not doing something in their personal lives that is not on a screen. And to be totally honest, like we've seen people like starting to call out people for saying it was performative, which made me so I was self-conscious about posting anything about the protests. I did, but like it made I was nervous. I don't know why, because nobody I don't have like that kind of following, but
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous of coming off as performative.
Yeah,
And but I also wanted to make sure that because I have family that doesn't use their voice, I want to get them riled up. Like I want them to care.
yeah,
I have friends that are apathetic that I want to care. So I post those stuff for my inner circle to see, for
right.
them to be aware and to spread self awareness, at least in my small reach that I
Mm-hmm.
can. Because despite that, I think I made Adele popular in San Antonio, in the greater San Antonio area. I want to try to like push that information out as much as I can. And I just think it's silly when people are like putting their focus on like I'm like you're attacking the wrong side. Like
right.
it's just annoying. Well, how do you feel about that?
I kind of agree with you. Like, I think like if you're trying to bring attention to a cause, like let that be your voice. Like, use your energy towards that. And like you said, like I think like a lot of people have reasons why they don't necessarily use their voice or don't make posts or anything. I did see one instance where like people were coming for this one influencer who's Latino. He's like kind of young, but he obviously has money now because TikTok
Mm-hmm.
and his following are like all Latinos, like because he's relatable, and he people were coming after him because he wasn't saying anything in regards to like deportations and like things like that, but it's because his family is actually like not from the United States, so he didn't feel comfortable putting himself out there.
To get eyes on him.
Yeah, to put eyes on
Mm-hmm.
him because of that. So people are coming from that, and I was like, you don't know everyone's situations or what they're coming from or like why they're not saying anything or why they are saying anything, you know. So I think just fight for the cause if you're gonna fight for the cause, and like
Right.
let that be it.
Yeah. People. I just felt so annoyed at people putting so much energy into like that, and like I'm like you're not like go complain on people like on MAGA accounts. Like, what are you doing? Or like complaining
Yeah,
about celebrities that, and mind you, I know there are some celebrities that are Latino and MAGA. And also, we're talking about the No Kings protest for the record. I don't know if we specified that, but me and Paul both went. But I was like, why are you looking to these celebrities? Look,
Mm-hmm.
I understand they have influence. I understand they have reach, but I'm not putting my eggs in that basket. Like,
Right.
I'm never going to put my eggs in that basket. Yes, I have artists and celebrities that I love and me personally idolize, but like, and I want them if they are vocal. That is awesome. I love that. It
Right.
makes me love them more. But
Yes.
I also don't know, like for example, not to always like make. I feel like this is a like essentially a Beyonce podcast, but I know I know that Beyonce doesn't specifically outright say everything she feels, but she does use
Mm-hmm.
her art to express how she feels. But she does a lot of things behind the scenes. Like I don't know what she's doing with her
Mm-hmm.
money. I don't know where she's giving her resources, where she can help where she can, right? And like I don't need her to post anything because I feel like I believe in her enough as an artist that I I can believe that she's on the right side of history, unless she were to prove me wrong, and then
Mm-hmm.
in that case, like I will make my choices to obviously no longer support her or any other artist if they show me if you show me your ass, I'm not going to support you, right? So like I'm just not going to assume that somebody doesn't care just simply because they're not talking about it on their social media, like, and that doesn't mean that social media is also not helpful or not a form of activism. It's just there's so many different forms of activism, and just because someone's not participating in your form of activism doesn't mean that you're better or doesn't mean that they don't care. And that's was like infuriating to see because I'm like everybody's like y'all are all mad about the wrong thing. Like what the fuck? Like people are getting mad about like I don't know. People are getting mad about signs, and like I get it. I know like seen I'm not saying that doesn't mean like when you go out there and there are people that are there to be performative, that's not what that means, but like hey, if you have the numbers, like use it to your advantage at the very least. Like I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
you're mad about the wrong thing, like
Yeah.
you're and it just felt I was just like okay, well, you guys like make up video keep making videos about what the cause is, like you're losing sight of the
Yeah.
goal here, like the so I don't know, that was just my little rant about people on social media. We already went over our expected time, so we can wrap up here. Sorry to end on such a serious note. Here, I have some random thing I can end on a more lighthearted note. Um,
Well, I will say the actual. If you want to talk about
oh yeah,
the actual protest was really nice. I think it was a
right.
great turnout. I felt like that's in that moment, like that's where I belonged. Like that's like I was meant to be there. Like it was after work, on the weekend. Um, all the elements were just aligned for me to like show up and be there, and I was very grateful to have that opportunity.
Hmm.
And it was beautiful. I think.
I felt like it was beautiful too. I felt like I felt community. I felt like I didn't feel alone. Like I see all the things and you hear all the things in the news about all the things that they're trying to do to oppress and make our lives harder here, and all
Mm-hmm.
the crazy things that that they're doing. And it felt good to know like especially here in San Antonio, like I mean I know we're a democratic city, but San Antonio can sometimes be very apathetic to things. They can be very
Yeah.
complicit. Is it complicit, complacent, complicit, one of those. So the turnout here was way more than I had expected,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like okay, I'm not so alone, like,
Right.
so that felt good. It also felt good because I did hear some horror stories about other locations where it was very performative, and uh but ours wasn't like that. Like we had speakers speaking about all issues,
Right.
all kinds of things. Everybody came out, and it felt like we were all understanding the point of the protest. It wasn't for like fun. Like we didn't do it for fun. We did it to like
Mm-hmm.
be heard. So I was happy that that was our experience here versus some of the other experiences I heard about. But honestly, that doesn't matter to me because when you look at the numbers and the people that we were able to get out, then that's what's important to me. Of
Right.
course, now whether it will make a difference is a different thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it at least helps. Um, I think it helps at the very least. It helps the people who we're fighting for to know that all those
We
people
got their
are,
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are all there for them. And I think it also helps those of us who are like there for the cause know that like okay, we have the numbers, we just need to keep movement. We need to keep motivation, keep using our voices, and then of course like use our vote whenever we can. But that's
Yes.
that's the end of my rant. But the end of the one funny thing, just a rant. It's totally random, so I'm gonna take a big hard left turn. Um, I was thinking about Power Rangers as I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking about who would be casted as Zordon.
Can't wait to hear this.
Bob the Drag Queen.
Mm.
I think Bob the Drag Queen would make an incredible Zordon origin story. Like I think he would do great in the role.
Mm.
And I guess that's it.
That was a good note.
Okay, well we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, friends.
Bye everybody. The exit song.